And so, it all ends. Firstly though, my character deployment list has been heavily messed up. I'm going to obviously drop everyone from the Crimean Knights. Sadly, yeah, in the speedrun, Astrid is actually deployed here as well as Marsha and Ileana, but for reasons that, let's just say are really sad. I might go into that later. Let's see. I'm only going to focus on who I absolutely need for now. I actually want to bring Heather, though, because there is a very important treasure in this map. In fact, I can probably show it now. So, around this group of trees here, one diagonally up from this tree here is a rescue staff. And it's actually the only rescue staff in the game. So I want to make sure I get my hands on that. Now, I might actually want to bring Leth as well. Let's see. Yeah, I guess I might as well bring you. Okay, so who do I want who I don't have deployed here? I don't particularly need Janeth and Ulki. I might as well drop Janeth for the moment. Let's see if there's anyone here that I want to bring. Titania may help, her or Tanith. We actually are going to have to split up quite a bit. And actually, maybe Titania... I can take both of them if I want. That actually seems pretty much fine, because I'm probably going to send both of them over this side. There are going to be a ton of reinforcements from here, and I don't fully trust the Hawks to handle them on their own. Like I said, this chapter mostly plays itself, but I'd rather I get most of the experience than the NPCs. Okay then, oh yeah, obviously Ranulf is forced, and Sigurd is forced too for some very bizarre reason. I just realized I don't have any healers deployed apart from Soren, which might not be a good idea. However, yeah, normally I drop Leth and Heather, but I actually need Heather here, and Leth I'm going to be using to recruit Zehawk. So, I'm actually going to be recruiting Zehawk and Jill into the Grail Mercenaries, because at this point there's really no reason not to. Oh, I also just realized I have to be very careful with Micaiah's sleep staff, because she still has that. However, I guess I'll talk about that later. In fact, now I could probably go over all of the player characters who are on this map. So here's Soph. Here's Micaiah. Raphael's up here, but he generally doesn't do much. I don't think the AI ever use dancers against you until Street Pass teams and Awakening, I'm pretty sure. Nyla, obviously you want to stay away from her. I already showed Peleus. Toronio is here. Meg, but she's not really going to be much of a threat untrained. Same with Fiona. Laura's over here, but all she's really going to be doing is healing. Leonardo's here with the other two archers. I like how the player characters are kind of leading groups of their own unit type. So Jill's leading a squad of Wyvern Lords, Leonardo's leading a squad of archers, Nolan's leading a group of fighters, Edward's leading a group of just random unpromoted Myrmidons. Yeah, there are a lot of unpromoted enemies in this map. It's kind of weird. But yes, I'm mostly worried about Edward. To quote Gwimpage in his Radiant Dawn speedrun, a tier 3 Edward is very scary. And, yeah, I actually need to probably beat both Edward and Nolan as well as probably Aaron in order to get to, meteor range for Peleus. Because, yes, my main goal here is to... Oh, yeah, there's a guy with bolting here as well, so I'll need to watch out for that. But my main goal here is to get Soren to meteor Peleus. And for that, I'm probably going to have to send Soren as far forward as he can. I just realized having celerity on Soren would really help here, but it would also rob me of celerity access for a little bit. Celerity on Soren might not be that bad. I don't usually have that much trouble getting Soren to the enemies, so this should be okay. Heather doesn't really need to be all that close. Har's main job is going to be to try and recruit Jill. And Titania will go the other way. Alright, Rayson's going to be very helpful here too. I think at this point, in terms of deployment, Mia's a bit far behind. She should probably head a little further in too. Let's gonna need to really keep away from bolting, because she could very easily die here. And I think that's pretty much a good setup. Yeah, on the first turn, you can't really reach the enemies without Rayson, unless you're using high movement characters like Paladins and Flyers. I wonder if Har should actually deploy further forward then. You know, I guess I'll have hard deploy a little further forward. And I guess Mia will go closer to Gatry. Alright then, now we don't really need to send anyone up here, because every enemy here is going to be dealt with by Scrimmier and his group, but I guess I could if I really wanted to. Okay, time to save and fight it out. Huh. What's that number in the corner of the screen? Nah, it's probably nothing. So, Eternal Bond does not fit this map at all. I have no idea why they decided to play Eternal Bond for this chapter, but they really shouldn't have. It is actually the last time we hear Eternal Bond in the game, surprisingly enough, but still, I don't know why they chose to do this. I need to be very careful of Rolf, though, versus people like Edward and Nolan, because I really don't want to get Corrosion and break Tarvos. That would be really terrible. Obviously. Let's just hand axe you, even though this probably won't kill you. I like the battle background here. We're finally back into the snowy fields of Dayan, just like we were in Mid-Path of Radiance. But I still wish they'd use a different map theme and not Eternal Bond. Eternal Bond playing here doesn't make any sense at all. Unless they were intentionally trying to go for, I don't know, like, dissonance or something. Huh. That 0 just turned into a 1. Nah, it's probably nothing. Gotta be careful of racing on this map. The majority of named characters, or at least named characters they actually care about, so for example, Laura and I think Aaron will actually attack Herons, but the majority of named characters who they cared about enough to give pacifism data to will not, you're running really low on range weapons. But I have a lot of other range attackers, it should be fine. But yeah, the majority of named characters will not attack Grayson. And usually people originally from the Dawn Brigade will not attack people like Micaiah. You are getting very unlucky with your speed growth. You're supposed to be the speedy general. Okay, I do want to send Soren forward. The problem with that is, yeah, I don't really want him getting shot by the snipers. Oh, right. Yeah, you're actually running a little low on range weapons as well. I wish I could take that Stormstorm. I mean, I can take your coin, but that's kind of pointless. Can both the snipers... Okay, if Soren goes here, only one sniper will be able to shoot him. And only one sniper should be fine. I have enough users on Meteor, that's good. And I might as well bring Ike in for support range. I guess Ulki will head over to help Tivan. Ranulf will... Actually, let's actually... No, wait. You know what? I think I'll actually send Ranulf over here to help his own side. Leth, though, is going to go as close to Z-Hark as she can, because she's going to be the one to recruit him. Speaking of Leth, I actually found out recently that... I thought that Leth could recruit Jill if they had an A-support in Path of Radiance. It turns out, no, Mist is the only one who can do that. So yeah, Mist can recruit Jill if she had an A-support with her in Path of Radiance. Also, Tanith and Sigrid have Bond support, so I might as well capitalize on that. So yeah, I don't need to worry about showing that. Does Nephany still have her spear equipped? I think she does. No, she does not. In fact, yeah, I checked earlier. She had the Steel Lance. I should remember that. Rare enemy actually hitting Nephany. Now, I'm going to be very surprised if Gatry doubles you. He probably would stand a chance of doubling you if he'd gained speed on every level up so far. But he has not, unfortunately. Oh, look, you're attacking... Wow, you're doubling Tiban? That just goes to show that as powerful as Lagoo's Royals are, even untransformed, they are pretty vulnerable. However, Lagoo's Royals are almost never untransformed. The only reason Tiban is because he hasn't had his turn yet and hasn't had a chance to change forms. Kinda saw that coming. So I should mention right now, this chapter is sort of timed. That's why I need to hurry up with getting Soren to Meteor Peleus. That's all that really needs to happen. That and getting the rescue staff. Once that's done, I don't really need to worry about what ends up happening. However, transformed... Oh, hey, that's Paviz. I should probably talk about Paviz. Paviz is actually... It's both a new and an old skill in this game. So, in the previous game, you might remember, the occult skill of Hawks was Cancel. In this game, Cancel is the name of a different skill that had the name Guard in Path of Radiance, but that one was always Cancel in the Japanese version. And there is a new skill called Paviz, which works the exact same way that... oh, by the way, the Lagoon's going to transform now. Which works the exact same way as the Hawk's Cancel skill did in the last game. It has a, I believe, skill % chance of negating all damage, and given how ridiculous Tiban's skill stat is, he's even more broken with that skill on. But yeah, the reason why Tiban has that is, because he had the Cancel skill in Path of Radiance, and Cancel and Paviz are basically the same thing. So, you might notice that counter is going up even when the NPCs kill enemies. I wonder what that implies. This is where I was alluding to when I said this chapter is sort of timed, and when I also said that, don't worry, this chapter is not exactly a route mission. But this does mean that I need to hurry up with getting Soren to Peleus. Because the enemies do a pretty good... Because the NPCs do a pretty good job of taking out the enemies on their own. And all of them are green units, which means you can't call them off. No way to give them orders. Which unfortunately means it's almost impossible to see a certain conversation. So, this chapter has a ton of special boss dialogue, like most of Part 3. And that is one thing that I really love about this part, is that the sheer attention to detail they gave this game when it comes to special boss dialogue. Pretty much every combination of characters that they thought would have special things to say to each other in this chapter, they took that into account. Even recruiting Jill over to the enemy side and having her fight some of the Dawn Brigade members has special dialogue. So it is really cool. Yeah, the other Lagoos were being affected by this before, but now it's starting to affect Ranulf, and that's not good. And the count has only hit 10. This is just the beginning. One annoying thing about this chapter, though, the NPC phases are very, very long. I kind of wish I could set the animations to purely off just for NPCs, but letting you set animations individually is only an option for your units, not NPCs. What I was alluding to about the special boss conversations is, so, there's a certain conversation in this chapter, and that is Tiban versus Nyla. Good luck getting Tiban to fight Nyla. It's probably only possible if you kill the enemies in a very specific pattern to make sure that Tiban is lured towards the top of the map by one enemy at a time, like leaving a trail of enemies for Tibans to sweep through. But if you actually do somehow manage to have Tiban fight Nyla, their battle dialogue is something. It's certainly something. To quote a certain infamous terrible fanfic, their battle dialogue sounds like they are about to, quote, jump on each other and start screwing each other, unquote. I'm not kidding, look up their battle dialogue, it's kind of crazy they got away with that. It's like the most sexual tension-laden battle dialogue in this entire game, and I'm pretty sure it was intentional. The developers realized there's very little chance of players actually seeing it happen, but if you somehow do, I really would like you to use your Wind Edge, so I'm going to actually have someone go up here and use a... Problem with Har is, I've actually had Har come very close to dying in this chapter before. The other problem with Har is that he's a bit too strong and might increment the kill counter too quickly. But I do want to try and recruit Zehawk. I hope he's not an idiot and suicides himself into Har, though. He might be, but we'll see. Hopefully the self-preservation instincts of the majority of this game's AI actually kick in for him. I think I'll just equip a, no, not a Grudlance. Let's actually go for Dauntless, which really screwed me over a lot earlier on in the previous chapter. I might as well just equip the Rudao. I meant to actually move Rolf, not to do that. And yeah, I actually think Soren needs to be heading forward as fast as he possibly can. I'm not too worried about him getting attacked, although... You know, healing the NPCs might actually prolong this chapter slightly. However, I don't really want to waste physic. Gonna move in Ike for the support, obviously. Okay, that guy needs to die. And that guy needs to die, and I don't really have a lot of characters left who can refresh. Might actually have to have Titania do this, hopefully. Yes, she can do this, that's good. With as terrible as her level ups have been... Oh yes, I've been waiting for this! Spring legs! So I like to call the soul animation in this game on Paladin's spring legs, because seriously, their legs stretch way further than should be humanly possible. It's so weird looking to me. But their legs just turn into springs for that animation. Oh yeah, that's why there was a long loading screen for that, because the kill counter has gone up to the point where we have a cutscene. A mysterious question mark, question mark, question mark name tag. I wonder who this is. So this dialogue is all the same in the extended scripts. The main exception is that there's a lot of additional dialogue with the question mark character spaced in between Sanaki's lines. Feathers. Yep, it's this guy. So, I'm not actually going to count that as a backstab because he was kind of forced into it. I mean, technically he was forced into backstabbing us earlier, but, And yeah, by backstab I mean that he was kind of working for the senators earlier, and now he's working for the Apostle. But like I said, he's kind of been forced into it, so I don't really consider this a full backstab. Alright, got Rolf refreshed, and Rolf can't actually attack any of you. Great. I don't really want to send Rolf into range of those enemies, because then there's no chance of him suiciding the enemy face at all, because even if he does it with the crossbow, he's definitely not going to kill anything. I guess I can try out the Akbar. It does look very cool. A lot of the high-rank crossbows look pretty cool in this one. I suppose I can have Tanith fight a few things here. And she's not doubling! Yay! There are a lot of people who say that they, that I should have just, shown Tanith promoting and then reloaded my save to save my bonus experience, but I actually kind of wanted to promote Tanith. She might end up useful in a certain chapter in Part 4. I kind of like having a 3rd tier Pegasus Knight for that. And I prefer Tanith as a 3rd tier Pegasus Knight rather than Sigun, though Sigun is a lot easier to 3rd tier. The speedrun definitely 3rd tiers her here because she's 4th in this chapter, so you might as well have an extra 3rd tier. I think she does help in the speedrun in 4-3 as well. Tanith's not really gaining experience all that quickly, but I guess the enemies in this chapter are fairly weak. There is a reason why they made the enemies in this chapter so weak. And let's see. Do you hear that heartbeat sound? It's probably just my imagination. Heather's gonna head over here. Ulki will back up his own people, and Ranulf is going to... I really don't want Ranulf to get attacked while he's untransformed. But I guess he might be able to handle one enemy untransformed. By the way, Rend cannot activate while you're untransformed, I'm pretty sure. Oh, you are a sleep staff. And I'm so glad you went for the NPCs and not me. Because I need to get rid of you. I forgot you were there. The sleep staff can get extremely annoying. In fact, I don't think I remembered to bring a restore staff to this chapter. So, I'm very glad you went for the NPCs and not me. That guy will usually go for the NPCs because of their terrible resistance, but sometimes he goes for you, and even though the chances of him hitting Soren are extremely tiny, one thing with Ha is that Ha's resistance is not great, so if Ha gets hit by sleep, he can actually easily get brought down by the enemies here, especially if a ton of mages attack him, and that's exactly what I wanted. Okay, I should just say, Zihawk's battle dialogue in this chapter is extremely depressing. Speaking of depressing, I need to make sure that once I've recruited Zihawk, I clear out the enemies, because if he's defeated as an enemy, he's fine, but if he goes to your side and is defeated, he's dead. Saw that coming too. Thankfully, I'm in range of Daunts. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that you'd hit me, and Soren's getting... Holy crap, that was an unlucky fight. Wow. That was a really unlucky fight. What is it with 80s in this playthrough to me? And there is a second sword master that can attack Soren, unfortunately. Now, it would be really funny if Ranulph killed you. Ranulph's probably getting doubled, isn't he? Ow, that did more damage than I thought. Ow. Okay, yeah, good thing I made sure only one enemy could attack him. Okay, please dodge, Soren. Otherwise, that is going to be an incredibly sad way to fail this chapter. Well, at least Soren won't die even if he gets hit. That's good. I would have appreciated Flare there. The HP recovery could have really helped. Because Soren is on low HP, and he is the only staff user I have at this point, and I don't have any NPC staff users to rely on like I did earlier. Yeah, this chapter can actually get very problematic pretty quickly if you rush into things without thinking. So I think I might want to hang back a little bit, take this a bit slowly, and just try and clear out the enemies here, because, we're not at risk of the chapter ending until 80 enemies are dead, and we are already at the very bottom of that kill count. So yeah, I can reveal it now. This chapter ends when 80, not enemies, but 80 people in general die. That includes your units, that includes NPCs, and that includes enemies. So, 80 deaths total across all sides. I knew that would hit me. And Tannis not going to be able to finish you off because the Hawks will finish you. Finally, something with a physical weapon attacks hard. But I also need to be very, very careful of Edward here. And I am definitely battle saving when I get close to Edward because he could very easily kill me with his overpowered skill combinations. And I also need to be very, very careful of Wrath. For obvious reasons. Okay, this is what I wanted Ha to do here. He's going to clear out a few of these things. I'm not having good luck this turn. And then eventually I'll send Ha down the other side towards the tree line. Okay then, the rest of you didn't even move. Squirmius sometimes runs out of transform gauge in this map, but he always uses his Lagoo Stone afterwards, so he's usually fine here. Well, that's bad. Hey, well, since Ranulph's technically your superior, you get a promotion for that. Well, Ranulph's one of your superiors. Yeah, the good thing about these NPCs is they will actually block the enemies. Because, yeah, you can't move past someone of a different faction. Did I say they block the enemies? I lied. They're dumb. Well, Ranulph certainly has full transform gauge after this, so he can probably get this guy. Unless this tiger miraculously doubles. No. I love Tiban's completely pointless tears. I think tear halves the enemy's skill for a turn. It's not like it really matters, but it does that. Kurthnaga, please tell me you're not gonna go insane Kamui on us. Kurthnaga smash face! And yeah, we get NPC reinforcements in this map too, much like 3 Prologue. Oh, by the way, here are Kurthnaga's stats. They're... for a Black Dragon, they're really not that high. So it's actually fully possible to beat Kurthnaga here. Okay, I could send Har over there. I'm just kind of worried about Peleus. And obviously going to go ahead and lock in Edward's range. Nolan is going to move first, though. Okay, can Leth get to... Yes, she can, but I'm going to need to be extremely careful because Leth will die horribly if I send her in now. So, it is time to destroy the enemies in the area as quickly as possible to clear a path for her. And then she and Zihak are getting the heck out of here. Oh, and by the way, Mia's going to be the one to beat Edward here. This will be the last time Edward and Mia will clash blades. So, she's going to get the last laugh, unfortunately. Yeah, I like Edward more, but... oh well. Now, do I have Gatry range weapon that priest, or... I'd probably rather clear out some of the enemies around here. In fact, I might as well do this, because if I put someone else here, I can form a wall that will actually prevent, yeah, I'm just going to go for the axe here. That will actually prevent Zihak and Leth from being attacked. Come on, Luna. Yes, thankfully Luna's on my side now. I still don't get why Luna is triple damage and negating defense, while Flare is only negating resistance and not triple damage. And then they're like, oh yeah, well, magic is really strong against physical units, and it would be overpowered if it was any different, but no, because magic sucks in this game. So they really needed that, and, dang it. I feel like if I transform Ulki, he won't be able to kill that thing. I could try and have... Actually, Rolf's probably my best option here. And I'm going to use this just because it looks cool. We'll be getting close up of it soon enough. You know, I should probably say one thing that I wanted to say about Part 3 in general now, considering that we're almost at the point where... Soren's meteor range is expanding, and I could meteor Edward if I really wanted to. But yeah, considering that we're almost at the point where I'll need to be talking about a lot because of, you know, fighting Edward and Nolan, which is going to be kind of difficult. Yeah, let's just Ragnall you. Because I need Soren to keep moving, and I kind of want Nephi to keep moving too. So... even though the difficulty can vary wildly based on who you've trained and who you haven't, I really like the whole I'll face myself aspect of Part 3. And it's actually one thing that I think that this game does really well. Like I said, I feel like the early parts of Part 3 are the best way that the series has depicted a war. And there's one thing that, okay, a lot of, you don't even have a healing item, but does Segun? Yeah, Segun still has a one-use concoction, might as well trade that over. One thing that a lot of people say is, like, making a video game that fully reflects the horrors of war is extremely hard, because a game, by definition, has to be fun. And if you're trying to make a point about the atrocities of war, and while still making the gameplay fun, then, yeah, that is kind of problematic, and you're kind of ruining your own moral there. A lot of people had this issue with Valkyria Chronicles. Valkyria Chronicles goes on a lot about how horrible war is, and yet it's still a very fun tactical RPG, which kind of goes against that. And then the opposite end of the spectrum, you have things like Special Ops The Line, which are intentionally designed to be as unfun to play as possible. And that's good for making a point, but it also means that the game is not fun to play. But I actually think a way to strike a balance is to do what this game is doing now, to actually have you play both sides of the war. It's one of the few ways that I've ever, well, at least this is just me personally, but one of the few ways that I've ever truly been able to empathize with both sides of a conflict is if you get to play both sides. No matter how much they tell you to sympathize with the enemy in many video games, if you're not actually seeing their perspective, it can be hard. Again, Valkyria Chronicles had that issue, though admittedly there was a DLC map in Valkyria Chronicles that did do a good job of this, and it actually had a really cool twist at the end that I probably don't want to spoil because I might want to record Valkyria Chronicles sometime in the future. I was kind of considering doing a blind run of Valkyria Chronicles 4, but I think I'm not going to do that. I'm going on an overseas trip soon as of recording this, and oh yes, this happens when you hit 30 kills. And this is going to be very good for me. Micaiah leaves. That means no sleep staff and no purge for me to deal with, and Soth of course goes after her. So, the enemies are now leaderless. And it wouldn't have really changed anything gameplay-wise anyway, because Micaiah didn't have any authority stars, but anyway. I think I'll stop my, my speech for now, and I'll recruit Zehawk. I could have Titania rescue, maybe. Okay, let's just send Soren forward. He probably shouldn't be equipping Meteor, but nothing's going to attack him anyway. Yeah, I might actually have to rescue. So, this is kind of funny. This is just a cut-down version of the recruiting Zehawk dialogue from 3.6, and also 3.7. So, yeah, this exact same plot point again. And with that, Zehawk is actually at risk of dying, so he needs to get the heck out of here. And I guess Titania can go ahead and rescue. See, at this point, Leth is actually useless to me, so yeah, that's not good. Gonna have to try and get Heather into position to get the item. Oh, also Ranulf. Yeah, Ranulf. I'm pretty sure that Paladin is not gonna kill him. Nope, definitely not gonna kill him. He does desperately need healing, though. This is one of the few times I've seen a Daein Sword Paladin. The black armor actually looks pretty cool on Paladins in this one, but this is... I think this is the only time in the game you fight Daein Paladins. Mounted units have a greatly diminished presence in this game compared to the last one. On both your side and on the enemy side. But yeah, what I was saying was that I feel like nothing hurts in a game more than having to fight characters that you previously controlled. I feel the best way to empathize with characters in a game is to actually play as them. And that's why I really love multiple perspective storytelling, having multiple parties. I mean, admittedly, there are some games that do this a bit, I wouldn't say wrong, but a little awkwardly. Wow, Gage is taking no damage from magic. He does have +2 defense from Mia, but from her support, but still. I really should have equipped the ranged weapon. Like, Sonic Adventure 2 is a game where, yeah, you do get the multiple perspectives, but the boss fights are just like, oh, Tails 1 on one side and Eggman 1 on the other side. That doesn't make any sense. Like, a game that I'm playing recently that I feel does this really well is Nier Automata, because, you switch characters at a certain point, and you actually, like, basically stuff that you see when playing as one character that the other character does, you eventually have to do it as the second character when you're playing it from their perspective. So, it's actually really cool. Like, you get points where it's like, oh, like, this NPC ally takes care of this one issue for you, but when you play as them, You're the one who has to do that now. It's kind of nice foreshadowing for what you'll be doing in later playthroughs, but... But yeah, I feel like... Yes, they kind of screwed this up with the whole blood pact thing. They wanted to make Dayan continue to fight you while still remaining sympathetic to some extent. Although many people think Micaiah lost all of her sympathy when she used the oil thing, but yeah, I know that in the extended scripts, they make it clear she didn't use the oil. Obviously, not everyone knows that. But yeah, I wish that more games that told war stories did this. More games actually had you playing as both sides, and you got to see the perspectives of both sides, and got to know characters on both sides. I really love the way that this game does it. I do wish the Dawn Brigade got more chapters. I said that before. Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of cannon fodder, random enemy, unpromoted enemies here. Ranked up axes, that's nice. Uh-oh. Yeah, I knew that was coming. Har was still out of Edward's range, wasn't he? And yes, Nolan will equip Tarvos given the chance. So I want to get rid of him before he spams that and runs out of uses. Thankfully, Nolan no longer has Resolve, so he's going to be very easy to take down. Har had a hand axe, didn't he? Yes, he did. I did that specifically so that I could clear a bit of a path here. I'm not too worried about running out of time. Well, not so much time as, like, the map's enforced somewhat time limit. More like running out of kills. Because, yeah, the one thing that I absolutely need to do here is to have Soren fight Peleus. It is required for one of the secret epilogue conversations. But yeah, I hope I'm getting most of my thoughts out. Because yeah, there's a lot I need to say about the chapter itself. I'm sorry if I keep getting interrupted. I do have a bad habit of being interrupted when I'm saying something. Something that I've been watching a few speedruns and other things lately, and a lot of commentators seem to have more focus than me. But often when something happens, like something misses, or something significant in the chapter happens, like for example, Nolan comes and attacks me, I feel like I need to switch to talking about that. I probably should just remember to finish what I'm saying and then say the thing that I want to say next, but then sometimes I forgot. But I mean, I hope you've enjoyed the ride so far. Radiant Dawn is a game that I really like, and we're approaching the last quarter of the game. Part 3 was as long as Parts 1 and 2 combined. Part 4 will be nowhere near as long. It is also, as a sneak preview though, where I feel the map design goes a little bit downhill. There are a lot of very long, tedious route chapters in Part 4. I kind of get why they did that, because they want you to get as much experience as possible before endgame. Oh, I hate when this happens. This guy must have rolled one more defense than the other guy. I need stun here. Come on, stun. And yeah, basically, I just did what I said that I wouldn't do. I switched topics mid-conversation. But anyway, I hope you understand what I mean about how I feel like the war is depicted in Part 3. I still like Part 3 a lot, and I wish people would focus on the positives rather than the negatives. I've already talked about many of the positives before. I don't think I'll be doing my final thoughts on the part at the end of this one, because I've already said everything I need to in the chapters themselves. Okay, we're almost at the halfway point. And we are approaching the point of the map where Soren can get to Peleus, so I will probably need to take down Aaron, and this is going to be a lot harder than it usually is. At least Aaron isn't 3rd tier. If Aaron is 3rd tier, then this is a lot trickier, especially if he gets impaled, because quad damage hurts. It hurts a lot. I mean, practically speaking, Luna's probably worse, because, you know, 4 times, let's say that you've got such high defense that Aaron's only doing 2 damage. That's still 8 damage. And you're also not dying. Kind of hoped for Tanith to level up and gain strength here. But at least Tanith not killing off these enemies means that I can afford to take a little more time here. Seems like everyone rolled enough defense to not get one-rounded except that one guy. It's always frustrating when you're just barely not one-rounding something. And more fools who want to attack Har. Part 3 enemies don't really have a lot of speed, but that will balance out in Part 4. Late Part 4, if you're unlucky with Har's speed growth or you don't bonus experience his speed up, he can very easily not double things. I had that problem with him on hard mode. Or should I say hard mode, because it basically is hard mode. Because you're pretty much forced to use him there. I don't think we've had an NPC death so far, correct me if I'm wrong. I was going to try and explain how the counter increments even when NPCs die here. But yeah, the fact that the counter increments even when you're... Why the heck didn't you attack? I'm very confused. Maybe your transform gauge is low and you're trying to avoid untransforming? That's the only... Well, we might be seeing NPC death here. Not quite, but almost. But yeah, the fact that the counter increments with any death, even those on your side... That's actually why the speedrun deploys Ileana, Marsha, and Astrid, because it intentionally gets them killed, because they all have the lowest defense of the army. Though, I'm wondering why they choose Marsha for this specifically. I get Ileana, because untrained Ileana will die in one hit to anything here, and untrained Astrid will die in one hit to anything here. But, why Marsha? Like, surely there are people with worse defense than Marsha. Okay, so Ina has now joined this chapter as an NPC. We get to see a sneak preview of Ina's stats here. She's a very strange red dragon, because even though red dragons are physical in this game, and Dragon Breath is 1-2 range now, by the way, so dragons are actually a bit more threatening than they were in Path of Radiance. But Ina specializes more in magic than in strength, which is weird because you'll never be able to use that magic stat offensively. But it does, you know, show the fact that she is half white dragon, and white dragons are the more magically inclined dragons. So it makes sense for Ina to have a decent magic stat. Actually, no, wait, she's probably at least a quarter white dragon, because this is her grandfather. But there could be other white dragons in her bloodline. And that's why in battle she looks pink. Because she's effectively a hybrid red-white dragon. I wonder what black dragon hybrids would look like now I think about it. Like, a black and white would probably be a grey dragon. Anyway, it's not for me to speculate on that. Okay then. So, current plan. Also, notice how that counter is pulsating more rapidly now. That doesn't imply anything at all. Okay, Soren also needs to be kind of careful though. He did use a healing item, didn't he? Oh, also I should mention, this is the last time we'll be hearing Time of Action. It's it's one of the shortest lived battle themes in the game, although it's annoying that the original Dawn Brigade battle theme is very short-lived as well. Because that's a really good song. I like that one, and I kind of wish the Dawn Brigade used it more often. Okay, yeah, I suppose I can send Soren that far in. As long as Soren doesn't get in range of Edward, because that would be terrible. Or even though I think... Wait a minute, let me check Soren's... Nah, Edward definitely doubles him. There's no question Edward definitely doubles him. Let's go for the slightly further away general here. And I need to be very careful of Har, because I want to get him to recruit Jill, but I also don't want to put him in Nyla's range. If I really wanted, I could try and take down Kurth Naga in this chapter. He's really not that difficult to beat. Oh yeah, Nyla's movement range is insane. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try and send Har as close as possible so he can slip through and talk to Jill. Do need to watch out for Peleus's long-range Dark Tomes though, because Dark Magic still hurts quite a lot. Okay, I still have quite a few level 3 third tiers here. I suppose Gatry should be the one to go for this general because he has the highest power. So he's guaranteed to 1 round. Yeah, they have bad movement, but I actually really like generals or marshals in this game. They're probably still disliked by efficiency players, but I do think that generals are some of the best they've been in the series in this one. Their movement is still terrible, but they have insanely good stats, and most of them have good speed. Ironically, Meg actually has some of the worst speed of the generals, despite the fact that that's supposed to be her specialty. Alright, now can... There is just a little soldier there. But, yeah, I thought Titania might be able to one-shot it, so let's one-shot you to clear a path for Heather. Don't know why there are unpromoted enemies here. It's probably because the kill... So that the kill count increments very quickly. Because the developers probably knew this map would, might go on for ages if they, if the kill count increased too slowly. Okay, do I go for the mage, or do I go for... I think I'm actually going to go for you. Haven't been making very much use of Rolf's 3 range here, but he doesn't really need it. Oh, I almost forgot I gave him Adept. So he didn't take a counterattack anyway. Okay, sort of being careful about the kill count here, but I've got 30 kills to go. And another SS rank. The SS bow is really something special, but we won't be getting it until endgame. Until literally endgame. So, yeah. I'm not going to go for that, just... You know what? I'm actually going to have you run all the way over here and javelin this guy. Well, spear this guy. Some of that just use the term javelin to mean, just 1 to 2 spears in general. Spears, lances, whatever. I mean, this is literally a spear. Or in the Japanese version, slender spear. Which is, yeah, what the weapon that's just called spear is called in the Japanese version. Okay. Heather needs to go here. The question is, will she survive? Thankfully, the Black Knight isn't here. Can you imagine how bad this map would be if the Black Knight was here? Okay, first things first. Okay, Aaron is here. I might actually end up luring... Oh, right, that's Nolan. I almost forgot about you. I need to deal with Nolan somehow. I would like to still equip a ranged weapon on Ha, however, I think I need to get rid of Nolan. I'm so sorry about this, Nolan, but, it is not Nolan in time today. It will be soon, but not today. I'm so glad that defeating characters who are on your side doesn't kill them. Imagine how horrible this chapter would be if you actually did permanently kill them. No they don't. You have superior numbers. Too bad that superior numbers mean absolutely nothing. And yeah, Jill is on Ha's pacifism list. She will not directly attack him, so she's not going to move when he gets into her range. Right, yeah, Soren's actually getting pretty close to Peleus, so I shouldn't be too worried about how this goes. I'm going to stay away from Edward's range for now, because obviously I want to battle save before I do that, and I don't want to battle save just yet. Also, with Nolan gone, Edward's no longer getting support. So we'll see how this duel goes. Just a random tangent, but I like the fact that you can actually see the tomes on the battle models of magic used in this one. I think... Okay, no, Kurthnaga does not count as flying. Well, I think he can fly, he just doesn't take effectiveness damage from bows. Because his movement range seems to be able to go over that tree, but anyway. Alright, there are a couple of mages here. And I can really only kill one of them, realistically. Also, Raisin is here, though his resistance is very good. And unfortunately, the NPCs move after I do, so... Raisin has a ton of HP for a hero, and I forgot how high his HP was. His HP is better than some of my physical fighters. Actually, wait, let me check. Yeah, you will be able to get attacked over there. I probably still don't want to break Silencer. I mean, the first Silencer I got. There are two of them, obviously. And amazing animation. Okay, he's almost leveled up. That's the other thing about this chapter. None of the... Oh yeah, by the way, Deadeye still puts the enemy to sleep, but it's not going to matter because they'll be dead. They'll be asleep forever. Reminds me of that, I think it's like some of the Shin Megami Tensei games have a skill called Eternal Rest that works like, Ghastly Wail, that's it, in the Persona games. It instantly kills any enemy that's asleep. And that should be... Yep, that's the rescue staff. Oh, and Pass is still in your inventory. Oh, I should have put Pass in the convoy. Crap. Oh well. Gonna have to content myself with not having that. Oh yeah, Ranulph's still here. And you still have a concoction, so I can probably afford to send you up here. Ranulph and Squimir fighting side by side. Just like in the 3 prologue, except unlike that, they're both controllable this time. Yeah, Tibon doesn't like to move very far. Okay then. I guess Jill does move towards you. Interesting. Well, I can recruit her, but that'll put her in range of Nyla. And of course, the enemies ignore Ranulph. I thought you'd do that. Unfortunately, Herons can't counterattack untransformed. Yeah, Raisin's fine. At least we get to see his battle model. And it does give a good amount of transform gauge. Yeah, Herons transform so slowly in this one. I don't think Raisin's going to be transformed before this chapter is over, unless I go ahead and use an Olivigrass. Okay, we are approaching 60. So soon I will need to make sure to rush Soren to Peleus. And yeah, by the way, good luck getting Micaiah's special boss conversations in this chapter, because she leaves when the kill count hits 30, she and Saw. If I remember correctly, the battle dialogue between Micaiah and I think Ike, it's either that or Soph. At this point, they've pretty much just dispensed with all the formalities. I think it's something really simple. They each only get one line, and Ike is just like, goodbye, Micaiah. That's pretty much all he says. Because, yeah, they've fought each other 3 times at this point. They kind of get the idea by now. Yep, this is about where they start mass untransforming. Approaching 60. I'm pretty sure there are not any more map events until the counter hits 80. And depending on how the AI decides to move... Okay, Tibon had better not attack Edward. Edward is Mia's to finish, not Tibon's. And more reinforcements. And more reinforcements for us. Oh, crap. Okay, so, yeah, Ha could recruit Jill now, theoretically. Actually, he could do that and then Kanto over there, I think. However, the Wyvern Riders are incoming. You know what? I think it's time to battle save now, because very soon we'll be taking on Edward. I might want to shove Mia twice. Let's see. But yes, battle saving right now. Okay. Right, I want to take out those Wyvern Lords as well, though. Or I could go for a Raisin chant, but that means that I really need to make sure that everyone here does. And yes, I think Aaron will attack Raisin. I don't think... Actually, wait, no, Edward might attack Raisin as well. He's a new character to Radiant Dawn, which means that they don't really care about... Yeah, as you can see here, Soren's not quite in range of Peleus yet, so Soren actually needs to go a little bit further forward as well. Aaron is not 3rd tier yet. I could try and snipe Aaron from here, but that's a bit cheap. But you know what? Sometimes you have to do cheap to actually cheat. So I can't even double you. Forget that plan. Aaron surprisingly gained a ton of speed. I am really surprised he managed to camp speed without bonus experience. He normally doesn't do that. I mean, I could just get Adept on Aaron, but... Or Deadeye. Or any common... Actually, wait, no, of course, I don't want to have roll fight Aaron at all, because I could get Corrosion and break his weapons. Okay, nice level there. Wow, really? I was perfect... Like, I was completely, anticipating Rolf not gaining strength there. But... didn't expect it to be that bad. I'm very tempted to have Ike charge right in, but maybe I shouldn't do that just yet. Oh, Ike has Smite! I don't even need to have 2 people shove. Okay, then. yeah, we're a little more evenly matched here, but my hit rate is still ridiculous. So... I guess... let us begin. The final destined duel. I didn't even give him a chance, but what a time for Mia to get her first Astro. I'm kind of fine with, not giving Edward a chance to attack me back, because he could have got Adept, he could have got a Wrath crits, he could have got a cancel. Edward's defeat quote here is kind of like a much less dark version of Rolf's, not Rolf's, it's Tormod's in the last game. Yeah, something that I might have mentioned before is that the Tellius games in general have some incredibly dark death quotes. Thankfully, I haven't been able to show the worst of them, but some of the ones for example, Rolf and Tormod in particular are just absolutely disturbing. Like, as far as all the death quotes go in the series, Rolf and Tormod have some really horrifying ones, especially given that they're only children in Path of Radiance. They're still kind of children now. But yeah, I should mention, Tormod's death quote is, he says, "Move, listen to me, body, move." That's just... oh, that's horrifying. And Rolf's, from what I remember, is pretty bad too, in both Path of Radiance and in Radiant Dawn. Also, this is just a random tangent, but from looking at the wiki, I think they mistranslated Nakalov's death quote in Path of Radiance. It's pretty much the exact same as it is in Radiant Dawn, but Radiant Dawn translated it better. It tied in with the gambling motif of the line a lot more. Okay, if all of you do 5 damage, Tanith may actually die, so... I wonder if I can... Sigurd can't quite get into range. Okay, just really hoping that Tanith doesn't die here. I mean, I do have a battle save, but I was gonna save resetting the battle save for if Edward goes crazy. 63. Okay, we are getting dangerously close. Oh boy, and I don't really feel comfortable with having Soren rush in outside of Ike's support range. I guess Soren could go here. Oh, and rare footage of actual effectiveness bonus against Wyvern Riders. Yeah, see, even with effectiveness bonus, Thunder's still 33 damage, which I'm pretty sure Soren could be hitting with regular wind. Wyvern Riders are broken, obviously. They only have one weakness, and that weakness is terrible. Well, that was certainly better than Rolf. Are you in range of a Swordmaster? No, you're not. That's great. I would like the Gatry to be in range of something, though. But it's not really safe to use Racing here, thanks to the Flyers in play. Okay, actually, no, if Racing goes there, no, he will still be able to cancel exactly one space. I desperately hope that's enough. I also need to stay the heck away from Nyla. Let me just make sure to lock in her range. Yeah, I'm not likely to get into her range. I believe in the speedrun, Har actually beats Nyla on this map, which is incredibly dumb, but it's something that happens in the speedrun. I can probably rescue... Yeah, Racing's con is nothing. Even Heather could be able to rescue him, probably. Oh yeah, Volg's up there too. They usually don't move in to directly attack you unless you attack them first. Wow, you actually damaged Gatry. Nice one. Sadly, you are now dead. And once again, the Dayan Wyvern Riders use the Bednion color palette, which makes no sense now because Dayan is completely against Bednion now and isn't receiving direct help from the Senate, so yeah. Don't know why their Wyvern Riders are red. Okay, that's you gone. And now, I sincerely hope Ha is able to Kanto out of Nyla's range, because if he's not, this is terrible. And there's no way Peleus is going to run in and kill himself against us before Soren can get to him. Also, okay, good. You can't get to Rayson. I don't think anything can get to Rayson here, which is great. The kill count is getting dangerously high, but next turn Soren will be able to fight Peleus. Well, talk to him, mainly, but also fight him. Obviously, lock in your range now, so I know where to Kanto Ha to. I don't think Nyla... Well, actually, if Nyla gets Savage, she will kill Ha. That's why I'm worried. This conversation is mostly identical to what happens if you have Ha talk to Jill in 3-7. They just change references to the Grail Mercenaries to references to the Apostles' Army. So there's really no reason not to recruit Zihak and Jill here. Just some reminiscing about the other parts these two have been in. I like that. This is a really good conversation overall. Especially lines like that. And yes, I press B, so now I actually do get my Kanto move. And I can probably send Ha down there. Good. So Nyla will not be able to attack him. And now Jill is officially one of us, which means I can actually have Jill immediately betray the Dawn Brigade. Jill actually does have very interesting special dialogue with Peleus. In fact... Oh, I don't want to battle save now in case someone dies. I could easily battle save and show it, because it's actually very interesting. Basically, Peleus tries to pull a deliberate jerk gambit on Jill. Wow, nice hit rate there. He pretty much says, "You're a traitor, you're hereby banished from Daein, don't ever come back again." But then after she leaves, he says... You know, maybe if you leave Daein, you won't be cursed. And hey, that castle in the background is actually the same one we saw in an earlier cutscene with the Grail Mercenaries. That's actually pretty cool. Didn't notice that before. But yeah, basically Peleus wants Jill to defect, because he thinks if she's not with Daein, then maybe she'll be spared from the curse. And yes, Jill's using this battle theme now. And yeah, theoretically you could have had Jill ever since, much earlier in the game, but you know, I might as well block off one avenue of attack towards Soren. 66. Getting close. I still have one thing that I need to do here. Might as well have Titania. I almost forgot about that little random paladin here. Oh, not quite. We only have 2 HP and Heather's attack is still pathetic. That's unfortunate. Maybe I could make you attack Heather, though. Because if she equips a dagger rather than one more might, but that only gives me 20 attack and you have exactly 20 defense. Nope. Not doing that. You guys really didn't want to attack Ranulph before. I think you still won't, but I'm going to go ahead and use Malefic Grass anyway, just because I don't want him untransforming. Ranulph came very close to dying earlier in this map, and I'm not going to have that happen again. Especially since, yeah, it's still a game over if he dies. Oh yes, an independent is Ina, by the way. Who's not considered a commander. Okay, let's just hope Aaron doesn't do anything crazy. And by that I mean I hope his RNG doesn't go crazy and crit with Nox or something like that. Oh yeah, I just realized that versus Soren might be bad. Yeah, definitely seeing now how the deaths of NPCs increment the kill counter. This could cut it very close, but I'm sure I will still be able to... Oh, we're actually getting very close. I have to make sure this has to last one more turn. Oh, that's not good. Hi there, random sniper. I'm pretty sure Leonardo's going to attack me, but, it's not like I have much to worry about with him, given his track record with hit rates. I actually want him to attack me now, because then I'll level up. Well, that's one more kill guaranteed. I don't think it's going to be 10 kills. And yeah, people pointed out that looks a lot like his Luna animation from Path of Radiance. 1 experience. Okay, good, you didn't die. And that is Blizzard, I believe. It's hard for me to say which looks cool, the Path of Radiance animation or that one. Like, I like the way the falling icicle is animated. Ah, hi there! I like that. That's kind of referencing the fact that he is the prince, so the enemies would think that killing him means the enemy instantly loses. It's almost a minor fourth wall break, but at least he dodged. Come to think of it, Ha probably has no clue who Peleus is at this point. So, he doesn't really care that Peleus is saying that. I forgot about the Wormslayer. And it missed anyway. And you're dead. In fact, I would have preferred that if Jill hadn't got stunned, because that's an extra kill, and Jill probably wouldn't have doubled. Well, at least it's more experience to Jill, but... Oh, come on, kill count. Please don't hit 80 this turn. I need this, yeah, I should also mention, I actually think I'm remembering this. Aaron doesn't really like moving. Because him and the other Halberdier are all that's guarding the main leaders of their army. So yeah, they don't really like moving. Oh, come on, please, 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 don't go over 80. Did you attack Sagoon? Yes, I'm actually fine with that. That actually guarantees you won't die, and it also guarantees Tenneth won't die. So that is good. Yes, they're all going to go for Sagoon. I think they're doing that because they know they'll survive if they do that, which is good because I need to keep the enemies alive until I can get Meteor in range of Peleus. And Ike's Smite might be the key to that, because I'm not sure if Soren has enough range to get into Peleus' range. But I guess I could use Peleus' long-range Dark Tome range as a good indicator of when I'll be in range of attacking him with my long-range tomes. He doesn't move, like most enemies with Siege Tomes. Oh yeah, I'm definitely getting an extra turn here. There's no way I'm ending this now. First tier Myrmidons. What sick freak. What was the line again? What sick something sends babies to fight me? I think it's man. Yeah, even with the kills they're going to be getting here, I don't think we'll be hitting the maximum number. Okay then. We're really close, and in fact, I might actually be able to end this next turn if I get the right number of kills. In fact, if Soren doubles Peleus, I might be able to take Peleus down in this chapter. I don't think I've ever done that before. But we'll see. Okay, come on, come on. Well, you're gone. And yeah, as you can see, Tiban is nowhere near Nyla right now. Wow, 3 more kills. I'm cutting it very close here. And yeah, that heartbeat is certainly ominous. 3 more Hawks like that's gonna matter. Oh, I just remembered. Yes, I actually need to take down either you or Aaron in order to get Soren enough movements to Meteor Peleus. But, so I need to make sure to do that first. Wait, what? I didn't know that converse conversations could happen if you're on opposite sides. That's actually really weird. I had no idea that could happen. Huh, what a way to find that out. I learn new things about this game every day. Unfortunately, Jill can't actually take him down unless she does that, but I'm gonna do that just because it will make things easier for me to attack Aaron with someone else, but, why not? Oh, this is so weird. I never knew you could do that. That's actually pretty amazing. This is one of the few opportunities you have to do this, I guess, and Aaron is down. No, he's not. Wow, okay then. That is very impressive. You survived an enemy instantly die skill. Not that it helped you, but still, I'm really impressed by that. Hashtag Aaron for endgame, I guess. Oh, why do you have such little personality, Aaron? I'm wounded. You think? Okay, Soren is in range of Peleus now. In fact, I could try and Meteor Nyla if I really wanted to. Nope, not doing that. Looks like Peleus is actually going to be casualty number 79. You know what? I'm going to let Peleus be number 80. I'm going to let Soren's conversation with Peleus, and it looks like Magic won't be hogging the spotlight of Rolf's level ups ever again, thanks to, yeah, that. Yeah, I'm going to have Peleus be the final KO, not kill, because he doesn't die. But, okay, you're level 4. Anyone who's level 3 here? Doesn't really look like, well, except for Nephany, but I mean, I don't think she's going to be able to get in range. Or is she? She won't level up, though. But I could chant with Rayson. And I don't even need to transform him here. But yeah, I'm going to let Peleus be number 80. Sadly, you can't trigger Flare at long range. Let's see, I have to use the Steel Grutlance. I mean, I could have gone for Kurthnagar as well. Overkill, but where he's Impale, not overkill. This is why I don't like having Aaron third tier in this chapter. Even though you can just avoid Impale by attacking from range. Okay, now it's finally time for the one thing that I really wanted to do in this map. But first, any last minute healing experience? Well, Soren's the only healer I have, so I can't do that anyway. Yep. Has to end now. I mean, or I could do this. Wow, yeah, so that just shows how pathetic Thunder Magic is in this one. Though, getting Flare would actually be really great. Oh, I should probably battle save here and just show fighting Kurthnagar at least once. Because I don't do it that often. I'm actually going to do that. This is why I love battle saves. We can actually show fights like this. You know what? It's probably more effective to do this. Kurthnagar is very small for a black dragon, and I think he's down. No, not quite. Yeah, he's definitely down now. I always thought Kurthnagar looked like a shiny Charizard. But we're seeing more of that later on. Yeah, Kurthnagar's losing it from all this chaos, and now I have to reset. Okay, finally, it's time for the real final fight of this chapter. Soren versus Peleus. That conversation doesn't really seem all that significant. But it is required for something later. And that ends the chapter. Now, something interesting is that this conversation at the very end of the chapter is different if Boyd has an A support with Miss. This is why I wanted to get to an A earlier as well. That and the base conversation at the start of this chapter. So yeah, completely different scene if Boyd does not have an A support with Miss. You get Titania there instead. I feel like Nyla's presence here is actually foreshadowed much better in the extended script. There's a few extra lines there. Duh, you think? Remember this detail from the very end of Path of Radiance? It's finally going to come into play. Yeah, if we're screwed either way, if there's even a chance we might be slightly less screwed, we should take it. This line is actually interesting. In the extended script, Nyla instead says it's too late to calm the warring Lagoos, and the Daean soldiers won't surrender either. So she's less concerned about the Dark God and more about the fact that the war is not going to stop, so the Dark God is going to be released eventually, they might as well do it now. Yes, we did. And at this point, Ashnard is laughing maniacally in his grave. I can seriously imagine hearing Ashnard saying, "Only now have I truly won," from beyond the grave. Also, yes, it says princess, not queen. PAL version, baby! So, in the American version, they mistranslated this and called her Heron Queen Lilia. She was not the queen, she was a princess, so this is the correct version of the line. Everyone has passed out. I think we all know who that is. Hi there, traitor! I like the touch that he rushes straight to Racing and Leanne, though. Yeah, Timon's obviously not going to forgive him for what he did. But now's not really the time for that. Remember what happened the last time Saneki got involved in the Laguz matter? It actually ended well for everyone. We don't really have another choice. It's going to happen anyway. We might as well do it on our own terms. It's a little late for that. Yes, it did. At this point, we should probably just put aside our differences, because if we don't all work together, we're all going to die. All throughout this game, you've heard Micaiah mention this. This is what it's all been leading up to. And there's also a reason why Micaiah has dark affinity despite being a light magic user. Yeah, we need 2 parts of this song to make it work. Fortunately, we have both of them here. Perhaps there was some kind of security reason that they only told one person the song and the other person the lyrics. But now we have them both gathered in one place. The light's gone. Does that mean it worked? Or are we in for a storm of chaos?